development of science in the Asia and Mesoamerica and in the Africa. So, in this lesson, we have our objective. The first objective is discuss the role of science and technology in the Philippine national building and evaluate the government policies related to science and technology and other contributions of the national building. So, ang third objective is identify actual science and technology policies and appraise their impact on the development of the Philippine nation. So, this topic is lesson will discuss the influence of science and technology in the Philippines, and it identifies government programs, the cultural and economic boosting the science and technological capacity in this country. So, science and technology have played a crucial role in the development of the Philippines as a nation. So, through this history, the Philippines has been influenced by different cultures and colonial practices. So, this lesson we are going to introduce the different weaknesses, the strength of the national nation building in the Philippines. So, but before that, we are going to discuss the history of the Philippine culture, the historical background of the science and technology here in the Philippines.
Brief historical background of science and technology in the Philippines. Development of science and technology in the Philippines, we have two influences, internal influences and external influences. The Philippines has many internal influences that shape its people and its economy. First is survival. The Philippines is a country with many challenges like natural disasters, typhoons, earthquakes, poverty, and limited resources. But Filipino people have to be kanaganing resourceful and resilient to survive. Next is culture. The Philippines has a rich and diverse culture influenced by its history. And we are known for kanang pagiging hospitable, respectful, and religyoso. Economic activities. The Philippines has a growing economy with many different industries like agriculture, manufacturing, tourism, and other services. That is part of the internal influences, survival, culture, and economic activities. And let's proceed to external influences. The Philippines has been shaped by many external influences throughout its history. First is the foreign colonizers. So, we are colonized by other countries like Japan, American, and especially the Spanish or Spaniards. And other countries in Spanish colonization, they introduced kanang Catholicism, Spanish language, and kanang mga kuan nila mga traditions or culture nga until today is kumbaga na apply paghihapon nato siya. And also the American colonization ng ilahang mga democratic ideas and other infrastructure. Trades with foreign countries nagabay and sell to other country to grow our economy, like export and import, no, kay mostly pod ang kagamitan nila is mo po nato ang ginagamit diri sa Philippines until now. In international economic demands, the global economy affects the Philippines. When the world economy is strong, the Philippines can benefit. When it's weak, the Philippines can struggle. Example, when other countries have economic problems, the Philippines may see a fewer tourists, lower demands of its product and investment. When other countries are doing well, the Philippines can benefit from increased trade, tourism, and investment. In brief historical background of science and technology in the Philippines, the history of science and technology in the Philippines started way back the Philippines nakagain og independence from the American colonizers. Before the coming of the Spanish colonizers, the early inhabitants of the archipelago had their own culture and traditions. Now they had their own kanang belief system and indigenous knowledge system that keeps them organized and sustain their lives and communities for many years. So ang mga Philippines dito nga time is nagkaroon na og mga traditions and mga cultures and belief system and mga indigenous knowledge system. In pre-colonial period, indigenous science, early Filipino used celestial observation to predict planting seasons and also discover medicinal uses of plants. So, ang mga early Filipino is nag-use sila og mga celestial bodies like sa stars, sa moon is kumbaga gina-predict nila kung kano sa ang tingtanom nila or kano sa ilahang planting season. And also naga-discover sila og mga medicinal nga ginagamit for plants. In technology, Filipino create tools for farming, fishing, transportation for maritime travels. Sa farming is naga-create sila tools like mga karit or araro, ginagamitan nila karabaw to cultivate their lands. And also for fishing is kuan sila og bangka, nagayo sila og bangka, pokot or nets or ginatawag nilang pabelo or fishing lines. And also the warship for maritime travel and trade.
Since we are done tackling the influence of science and technology during the pre-colonial period, now let's proceed to the influence of science and technology during the Spanish period or the Spanish era. As what we already know, that Philippines was colonized by the Spaniards for 333 years. So makita nato ang impact sa colonialization of the Spaniards in science and technology here in the Philippines. The Spaniards established school for boys and girls that focuses on learning science discipline related. Parehas sa studying the human body, botany, and the study of the animals and also astronomy. Nga has the great impact for us Filipinos nowadays. So, isa sa influence sa Spaniards in the technology is na-adapt sa Filipino ang the Western technology, na-adapt sa Filipino ang Western technology. So, by the use of sa Spanish sa atua in terms of science and technology is dako jud wide kaayo. Siyempre sila ang nag-establish of schools for boys and girls. And now let's proceed to the influence of the American era or the American colonialization in terms of science and technology. So the influence of the Americans in terms of science and technology during their time is also in education. The American changed the educational system of the Philippines, and also one of the known event during the American period in terms of medicine is the fighting against malaria and cholera. During the Spanish and the American colonization is ang malaria and cholera is very rampant kay wala pa man tay kabalo kung unsaon siya pag-stop or unsa mga medicine nga pwede maka-stop anang malaria and cholera. So isa na siya sa kanang mga kanang sakit nga kanang nakapatay jud og daghang tawo. So by the help of the Americans in developing medicine to cure malaria and cholera, so nahatagan pud ta og ways to stop or ways to clean water unsa man ang pwedeng buhaton para mas ma-lessen ang kanang percentage nga magkaroon ka ng malaria o cholera by the help of the American knowledge, di ba? So nagya po yung great influence ang kanang American diri sa Philippines. And also ang nag-create po ang American og mga infrastructure during their time para mas mahatagan pa og kanang maayo nga facilities ang mga Filipino. So dito sa katong mga learning ato anang na-adapt na po as Filipinos ang katong mga katong nahatag sa mga American. So dili na kanina ito taskon kay naa pa may next mag-report. So proceed ta sa influence of science and technology during na po sa World War II. And now let's proceed to the influence of science and technology during the post-World War II. So since na may World War na hitabo, so na-distract or na-destroy jud ang mga establishment nga gi-create sa mga Americans. So after atong World War II, nanatay nagagitabangan ang Philippines sa other country to establish more infrastructure para maka step back ta kung unsay nawala sa to during the World War. So during the post World War II, nag-focus sila sa technological advancement or sa development of technology. So nagahatag na sila og kanang nagapaskwela na sila og mga Filipinos to become engineers, to become expert doctors and professional in the country, to develop the technology in the Philippines based on the learning nga naa sa Western country or nasa other country. So during the post-World War, so ang impact na nahatag sa post-World War kay mas laghag country ang reach out sa Philippines to mukha sila scholars ng mga Filipinos to study abroad, and para after nila mag-study abroad balik sila sa Philippines and ilahang i-apply kung ano to ilang na-learn dito sa other country. So isa na sa mga impact or brief history of the impact of science and technology during the Spanish period, during the American period, and during the post-World War II era.
Let's proceed on government policies on science and technology. The Philippine government introduced and implemented several programs. Overview of policies introduced by Department of Science and Technology or DOST and other government agencies. DOST provides funds for basic research and patents related to science and technology. Also, DOST provides scholarships for undergraduate and graduate students in the field of science and technology. In Republic Act 7687, also known as the Science and Technology Scholarship Act of 1994, which provides scholarships to talented students and deserving students. DOST also introduced Balik Scientist Program. It also provides direction, leadership, and of all scientific technological activities in the Philippines. Specific programs like scholarships, research fundings, science high school, and technopreneurship initiatives. The DOST scholarship is existing in these days, especially to our college students. When we say technopreneurship, it is a combination of technological advancement and entrepreneurial skills. It includes high-tech ventures in areas like ICT, electronics, and biotech. Those are the policies and programs introduced by DOST.
So, good day everyone. So, today I'll be going to continue the discussion about the policies, the program that the government implemented in the field of science and technology. So we have this NCRP and the DOST. So these two are both agencies here in the Philippines. So what do they do? What approach do they do? They collaborate with each other to strengthen the science and technology and to meet the demands of this advanced technology world. And also, they want to be a competitive country in terms of science and technology. So imagine you are building a house, a beautiful house, and this house needs rooms. So just like us, educators, we need rooms. And for those other field or more courses, just like the medicine fields, they also have their rooms. So this NCRP also have rooms. The NCRP clustered these rooms into four. So let's go first with this one. So this one is the social science, humanities, education, international policies, and governments. So what is the goal of this? The goal of this is to at least no to at least know the mother tongue. So at least the students will be able to malaman nila yung kinalakihan mong ang lingwahe. And also, at least malaman nila yung mga countries, the ASEAN countries, just like the Thailand, the Philippines, and other countries na belong sa ASEAN. And also, this emphasizes to provide yung mga internet access and also at least to give a local food security. So that is the goal, to provide yan yung goal ng first cluster natin. So the second, we have the physics, engineering, and industrial research, earth, space, and sciences. So this clustered, so let's call this clustered just like ganina. I will call that one a clustered. So this one is a clustered too. So the goal of this clustered is to give more opportunities, especially in the field of science and technology. Para mabigyan ng more na opportunities, na mabigyan pa ng mga engineers, mga ibang course na in the field of science and technology. They provide funds especially for research kasi yung science and technology is something na needs ng mga research, they are more likely na connected to that. So the third one is the medical, chemical, pharmaceutical science. So this one, the overall goal of this one is to making sure that the med is available, the quality is good and safe for the people na at least ma-provide nila. Just like yung COVID-19, we have these vaccines, may vaccines na kasi because just like these programs, mapapadali yung pagkuha natin ng mga medicines, mga vaccines, and it's helping to build the nation. Again, ang topic natin is the role of the nation. So the next one is biological science, agricultural forestry. So what is the goal of this? The goal of this is to protect the environment, to protect, the biodiversity, and to meet the goal of the ASEAN 2015 plan. So these are the policies. There are 4 policies that this NCRP implemented. So let's go to the DOST. So the DOST had also their programs. When we hear DOST, it's come always to ang mind now. It's a scholarship. So what is the goal of this DOST? What are the programs that they implemented? So the first one is providing funds for basic research. No, so they provide na mga funds for especially to mga daga research in the field of science and technology. Also, the funding also comes from the ODA, which means the Overseas Development Aid. So, the second is the scholarships, na providing scholarships sa mga STEM students, no, sa mga science and technology na inclined courses na. That's why the DOST has these priority courses, especially in the science and technology. And they also have this kind of mga what do you call this one, kind of mga grades na needs lang na need nila i-comply to meet that or to have that scholarship. And also in this field, sa mga katong gusto mag-pursue og mga courses that incline in science and technology na DOST to provide those needs. Now, so this one is, the establishing more branches of Philippine Science High School system for training young Filipinos in the science and technology. So they also provide training students. The next is the Balik Science program to encourage scientists to come home. So this Balik program is kasi may mga scientists that they are in abroad or nasa labas sila nagtatrabaho because due to first kasi lack job opportunities, and kung meron mga opportunities, it was underpaid. And when you say underpaid, yung mga mababa lang yung mga binabayad sa kanila. So that's why nagmamigrate sila sa ibang bansa kasi doon mamimit yung mga mga incentives nila, yung ibibigay sa kanila. So the DOST implement this program para bumalik yung mga may marunong or mga scientists here in the Philippines to share also their knowledge at dito sila magtrabaho. And sabi ng DOST here sa kanilang program, balik kayo, ibibigay namin lahat basta bumalik lang kayo here at magtrabaho sa Philippines. So those are mga policies that the NCRP, the DOST, the government implemented. No? In overall, they really want the science and technology to help this, to help this world, to create more programs, to improve the science and technology. So that is the goal of the science and technology. Some goals of the science and technology. So, and that goal of science and technology pinati sa mga programs, mga policies that they implemented. So, that's all for the subtopic. So, let's proceed to the next one. Thank you.
Mag-discuss tayo the famous Filipino in the field of science and agriculture, mathematics, physics, medicine, marine science, chemistry, engineering, and biology. There are 10 Filipino scientists are famous. First is Ramon Calbaños Barbara for his outstanding research in tissue and culture in Philippine mangoes in 1970 to 1980s, the variety of mangoes crop. Second is Josefino Cacas Comeso for his works observing the characteristics of Antarctica by using satellite images by phytoplankton blooms. Third is Jose Vega Cruz Jr. for known internationally in the field of electrical engineering, was elected as officer of famous Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineering in 1970 to 1980. Fourth is Lourdes Bonsai Cruz, notable for his research in seasonal venom in 1970. Fifth is Fabian Miller Dairet, for his research on herbal medicine, which is the virgin coconut oil. Sixth is Rafael Teniers Guerrero III, for his research on tilapia culture in 1986. And sixth, which is 95% male of this. Seven is Enrique Mapua Osteria Jr., drugs testing for inventing the meconium in 2002. 8 is Lilian Vermelo Patina, biotechnology for his doing research on plant in 1982 to 1990 to invent the fruit and vegetables more healthy and more productive. The ninth is Marie Jo Panganiban Ruiz, for being outstanding educator and graph theorist in mid-90. 10 is Georgie Legot Taguman, for his research in the field of communications technology. There are 200 published books in 2011. There are other outstanding Filipino scientists who are recognized here and abroad for their outstanding contributions in the science. First is Kaiser A. Saloma, an internationally renowned physicist. The second is Edgardo Gomez, the famous scientist in marine science. Third is William Padolina, a chemistry and a president of National Academy of Science and Technology, with the NAS Philippines. Sixth is Angel Alcala, marine science, also marine science. That there are other scientists in the Philippines who are not identified in the list yet. So now I will discuss to you also the achievements of the University of the Philippines, the Los Baños, Diliman, Visayas, and Manila. The University of Philippines Los Baños founded in March 6 in 1909, is a scientist paradise for agriculture, forestry, plant, animal science, and other variety of science. It has produced numerous scientists in various research in the field mentioned. The University of the Visayas, also founded in March 31, 1979, is also a national center of marine science, fisheries, and other related scientists in aquatic. The University of Manila, founded in June 18, 1908, is as excellent, has produced many researchers, doctors, health center of professionals and scientists in the area of medical and public health. The University of the Philippines Diliman, the last one, founded in February 12, 1949, also was established a national scientist and engineering complex to develop more research and produce more scientists and engineers in the country. So, do you imagine why there are so many famous scientists here in the Philippines, but a little few? So, first I will discuss to you why there are so many scientists. There are many scientists because in their childhood they are inspired by a good teacher, also inspired by a famous scientist like Galileo Galilei, Albert Einstein, Charles Darwin, other scientists who are loved in mathematics, science, agriculture, chemistry, and other related sciences.
Good day, class. Dali na ta sa challenges and future directions in science and technology. So sa first challenges dali is challenges in improving the quality of science education and encouraging STEM enrollments. So why is it challenging siya? So as you can see, there are a lot of public schools nga wala nag-open og STEM programs. Why? First things first, kulang sila og teachers, or ang mga teachers dito not qualified enough nga muhandle ana nga specialization. Also, napod tay lacking sa mga facilities and laboratories. Sa future directions niya, need for more research and laboratories funding and dissemination of research. Like I said earlier, kulang ang funding sa mga infrastructures, sa mga buildings, and sa mga gamit sa mga researchers in order for them to conduct their research. So second challenge is focus on areas like renewable energy, climate change, food security, and disaster management. So nganong challenging siya diri nga part class. So ingani siya class. Regarding sa renewable energy, kung mogamit taog ka ng windmill, di ba? Hydroelectric, mga kanaging, as you can see class, kanaging murag sa planta gani nga kanaging tubig gani nga magaproduce siya electricity mo siya hydroelectric power plant, murag inana ko siyang style, dili ko sure basta inana ang concept niya. Solar energy, no? Those renewable energy is good, but the problem is ang fundings, kay nga no, mahal kay na sila class, no? So dili basta-basta maka-provide ang government ana, kay nga no, mahal jud kay na siya. Kailangan jud siya dako nga capital. Dito sa climate change, so kulang ang mga kagamitan sa mga tao karon, kumbaga sa generation to karon limited pa ang mga para masolusyonan ang climate change. Sa food security, so as you can see class, nagadako ang population. Since nagadako atong population, ang land is nagagamay. Ang point na ko dara class is nagagamay ang mga land sa agriculture nga nga aspect, like wala na kay matamnan kay ni gamay naman ang land, kay na occupy naman halos tanan sa mga tao, kay nagagrow man na to ang population. So na chance nga mogamay jud ang supply sa mga pagkaon na to. And sa disaster management, dapita class, same ra sila sa climate change, no? Kay dara nga part, kulang pud ang mga kagamitan sa mga tao to predict disasters, like for example sa linog, no? As you can see, natay ginatawag nga PVOLCs, muna sila ang naga-predict o naga-update regarding sa mga linog o sa pagbuto sa bulkan, no? And also aside napad yung mga laing organization, pero ang problema lagi class, kulang og mga kagamitan para ma-predict ang mga possible nga disasters like tsunami ba, tornado, intense nga linog, inana. So naman yung mga country nga pobre kaayo nga wala sila kagamitan nga inana. So mura siyang challenging na siya dira. So there's a future alignment of policies with international frameworks and national goals. So sabotable naman na siya class. So mo lang to akong ikuan. So again, sa challenges sa science and technology natay STEM enrollments and improving science education, which is nakaproblema dira ang kulang of teachers, lack of infrastructures, kulang sa mga fundings. So sa regarding naman sa renewable energy, climate change, food security, mo na to tanan class, ako na tong giingon sa kagamitan, population, sa fundings sa government, and also ang tawagan na sa government, no, then sa mga poor countries nga dili maka na nga mga gamit. So muna to class, dito na punta sa next part.
To conclude the lesson 2, so during the lesson 2 merely focuses on education and health and also infrastructure development and the impact of science and technology in the Philippines. So that's the end of our report, and God bless everyone.